Well, good day to all you good people out there watching this video. Hope today finds you doing well. Sharks in the water. Well, as I said yesterday, I got something to talk about that is really petty. And the pettiness amped up a little bit yesterday after I did my video from yesterday. You all seen this commercial? I don't know who the lady is, Sydney Sweeney or whoever she is. I don't know who she is, what she acts in or whatever. She was doing a commercial for blue jeans from American Eagle. And apparently she did this, well, I guess the blow up from this commercial came. My wife and I, we went to American Eagle. My wife had a couple of gift cards, and we were going to go see a movie. And she had a couple of gift cards, and we went to the local mall here in Durham. And she went to American Eagle, and my wife wanted a jean jacket, but they didn't have the jean jacket, you know. But she got her address from American Eagle. And about a day or two after that, we start seeing all these clips about, you know, Sydney Sweeney or whatever her name is, styling these jeans from American Eagle, which I wish they had that jean outfit at the American Eagle we went to, because we didn't see it. But anyway, all of a sudden, the wokeists, they get all bent out of shape because of something she said in the commercial. Said, you know, if you got good genes or something like that, you know, and people are just losing their minds. Now, given I'm not the type of person that condones the sexuality of certain things, which it seems like this commercial was doing some sexuality in it. Not overboard or anything like that, but you know, the sexualization of certain things in our society is not something I condone, but that's not my point. And don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the sexualization. I think they need to get rid of it and whatever, but once again, that's not my point. My point is, okay, you had this white girl. She's blonde. She's got blue eyes. People are losing their minds because, you know, she's talking about having good genes, and, you know, she's a white woman and she's blonde and blue eyed, and everyone's just going crazy. Now, I'm a child of the 70s and the 80s. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. Man, we used to see commercials like this all the time. Calvin Klein, Lee Denim, Levi's, things like that. We used to see commercials like this all the time. They were a dime a dozen back in my day. No one batted an eye. Nobody said anything about it and whatever. But all of a sudden, in our woke culture, of today, you know, like I said, the wokeists, they want to nitpick at every little thing, just everything. And so, you know, I'm looking at this commercial, I'm sitting there like, I don't see the problem. I really don't, you know. And then someone showed a picture of Beyonce. I don't know how many years ago this was. They showed a picture of Beyonce. And she was styling some jeans from Levi's. And Beyonce was really showing it, you know, especially up top. And she was wearing a blonde wig. Nobody has anything to say about that, though. And this is a double standard that really gets my goat people get up here and they want to, you know, act all enraged. Oh, the white people this and the white people that, and white society and white privilege and all this and everything. All Sydney Sweeney was doing was displaying some jeans. That's all she was doing. Doing a commercial for some jeans. And people losing their minds. So I put a post on my Facebook. I put a post on my Facebook about it. And I forgot what I said, but I put a post on my Facebook about it, you know, because not only were people kind of ticked off about the commercial with the blue jeans, but they were ticked off about a commercial by Dunkin Donuts, which I've never seen that commercial. I haven't seen the Dunkin Donuts commercial, but it was talking about a guy who was tan and, you know, he was saying I got good genes and things like that, and people lost their minds once again. And I don't understand why people losing their minds. These are just commercials. And so I put it up and I said something to the effect of, those of you all losing your minds about the recent, well, what I said was people were talking about eugenesis or eugenics. Talking about eugenics, you know, eugenics is, you know, trying to alter the gene pool in order to come up with a favorable race of people. That's basically what it is. I may not have described it to the best of my ability, but that's basically what eugenics is. Altering the gene pool, trying to influence genes so you can come up with a grand master race. You know, that Aryans did it, you know, some time ago. Hitler was part of that, the purification of the races, so to speak. And so people were talking like this was some type of eugenics project. And I put up on my Facebook, I said people bringing up eugenics because of a commercial by American Eagle and Dunkin Donuts. But I guarantee you, these very people who are crying about eugenics are the very people who vote for people who support Planned Parenthood. I guarantee you. And Planned Parenthood is the biggest purveyor of eugenics in American history, or world history, basically. Planned Parenthood pushed a eugenics program. They were pushed by Margaret Sanger, because Margaret Sanger believed there was only one master race, and that was the white race. And she pushed this eugenics garbage on the world. She convinced black preachers to talk to their congregations so that they will not have as many children. She believed in sterilization and things like that. And the mess she started, we know as Planned Parenthood today. And I guarantee you, these people who are up in arms about, you know, oh, this is eugenics, I guarantee you, they were the main ones voting for Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, all these people that support Planned Parenthood. And I put that up on my Facebook page, and some people took offense to it. And one person even said, Vincent, you don't even understand what eugenics is. And here you are making this post, and you're supporting eugenics, all because I said that people that people who are up in arms and talking about eugenics. Excuse me, I'm getting my words mixed up. All because I expose the dirt of a lot of people, the hypocrisy, the double standards of people who want to push this garbage on us, talking about eugenics, but they support the very people who support eugenics. Now, like I said before, I would, if you're watching this, I would recommend you to check out the Negro Project. Just go to Google and check out the Negro Project. Just type it in. Or get this book. I forgot the author's name. It's called The Negro Project. I want you to check that out. And you will see eugenics in play. And these people, they were like, oh, you supporting eugenics by putting this post up and everything. Now, I had a lot of people say, Vincent, right on. You're hitting the nail on the head. Now, I don't know how in the world me pointing out the double standards in certain people means that I support eugenics. I never supported it. When I learned of the term, the first time I learned of the term in the 90s, I was like, nah, I ain't supporting this mess. When I learned about what Planned Parenthood was all about, I said, I ain't supporting this mess. So I don't know where people get that I support eugenics. But see, this is the world. This is the world that you come into when you try to expose the truth. A lot of people, for some reason or another, they misunderstand what your point is, which I don't understand, because I don't see how anyone could get that I would support the likes of Planned Parenthood with my post. I don't get how people think, I would support eugenics. And I know I'm sounding redundant by saying the word eugenics. Maybe you need to check out what eugenics is, look it up and everything, research it, whatever. I don't know how people got that I support eugenics. And I've had people do this. This is the story of my life. A lot of times I'll say something and people misunderstand. And when you look at it, you're like, well, why did they misunderstand me? And there's nothing to misunderstand. I was being very direct. I said, those of you all who are up in arms about commercials by American Eagle and Dunkin' Donuts, I guarantee you all are the very same people that'll vote for a Kamala Harris or Barack Obama. People who support Planned Parenthood, which is the biggest eugenics purveyor probably in world history. And this type of pettiness needs to stop. Really, it needs to stop. Now, I don't agree with, women showing their bodies off on a commercial about blue jeans and everything. But I'll be honest with you, if I were to compare commercials, I'd say that commercial by Beyonce was a lot more scandalous, because Beyonce was showing a lot of what she's been blessed with in her ad. I don't believe in the sexualization. Look, just say, hey, we got jeans here. These are good jeans. Boom, boom, boom. You don't have to display people's body parts and everything and stuff like that. But I digress. My point is that, once again, in society, we have people who will get outraged when someone does one thing, but when someone they favor does the very same thing, there's no outrage about it. It's called a double standard. And it's petty. It really is petty. But the wokeists and our news media, they always want to push this stuff out here that black people are the ones being victimized and oppressed and all this crazy mess and everything. And anything a white person does, there's got to be some racial factor to it. They always got to racialize everything. But the pettiness needs to stop. Now, I'm the type of person, if I see something I like, I don't need your ads or anything like that. I just see something I like, I say, okay, I'm going to go get this. Yeah, you might show it in an ad, and I might like it. Then again, I might not like it. But I'll just go to the store and say, oh, this is something I like. Okay, good. You know. But what I'm trying to say is that I really don't allow a lot of these advertisers to influence me to the point where I just got to have this. But I'm going off on a deep end right now. But anyway, you know, folks, we need to stop with the wokeisms and the being woke and all that and crazy mess and talking about what the white people are doing. Why are you worried about what white people are doing anyway? Why are you worried about it? White people are people just like anybody else. They have a right to display what they want to display, you know, advertise whatever they want to advertise. Why are you worried about that anyway? Why does it bother you what white people are doing? Why does that bother you? So what? People are going to be people. People are going to people, so to speak. And we all, you know, got our panties in a bind because of a woman advertising jeans for a company. And my shout out to American Eagle for standing their ground, because here's another thing about the woke crowd. The woke crowd, all they care about is control. That's all they care about. And a lot of times I've seen, you know, companies may have done something and someone gives them some backlash and they turn around, oh, I'm sorry. You don't apologize to the woke crowd, because that's all they're waiting for you to do is to apologize. And when you apologize, they say, okay, you apologize, now kiss my feet. Show your loyalty to me, you know. And if you know that what you did was innocent, or you're speaking the truth or something like that, don't apologize. I've seen so many people apologize for telling the truth. Do not apologize for the truth. If I tell you the truth and you get mad about it, that's your problem. That's not mine. The truth is going to offend. That's why a lot of people don't want to hear the truth. And when you tell them the truth, and look, folks, I've been doing this thing. I've been doing this thing for about 3 decades, not YouTube or anything, but you know, when people talk about black fatigue and everything like that, I've been suffering black fatigue since the 90s. And I know how it is when you tell people the truth and they just come at you. They just come at you. They just tear you apart because you told them the truth. Why you say that? Why you had to say it like that? You know. Once again, let me give a shout out to Seiko Woods, because people get on him because they say that it's the way he says it. It ain't the way anyone's saying anything. It's someone is standing boldly for the truth, and you don't like it. But then you'll turn around and say it's the way he says it. No, it ain't the way he says it. Because I've watched a lot of Seiko Woods' videos, and I'm like, I don't see what people are talking about. What are they talking about? The way he says it. He's just being bold with telling the truth, which we all should be. We all should be bold in telling the truth. But what's the way he says it? You know, he's a narcissist. I ain't seen no narcissism in him. You know, but people probably call me the same thing too. You know, and you know, I'm here for the smoke. I'm here for the heat. You know, I might not be as for lack of a better word, I might not be as forceful as Seiko is. And I don't like saying that word because it makes it sound like that he is, you know, he's being mean. No, he's not being mean. He's not being mean at all. I might not be able to explain it or be as eloquent as a Seiko, but I'm still going to stand for the truth. And, you know, if the truth hurts, well, then maybe you need to change your life to adjust to the truth. Because the only reason why the truth will hurt is because you're doing something that's opposite of the truth. And you're caught up in something that you've been caught up in for so many years or whatever. And when someone exposes the truth, you take it personal because you feel like you've been insulted. But the truth is to expose. And see, here's the thing. The truth is supposed to hurt. It's supposed to hurt. You know, a lot of times when we feel pain, it's a warning from our body that there's something going on that's wrong. And so it's our body's way of telling us, hey, there's something going on. You need to start doing something different. And the reason why pain hurts so much is because pain is getting our attention. And a lot of times when sometimes people, they will feel the pain, but they'll ignore it. Or they'll say, there ain't nothing. It's just a little pain and everything. But you need to get that pain checked out. It's the same thing with the truth. When the truth comes at you and you feel that little sting from the truth, instead of saying, why you gotta say it like that? Why you gotta be all mean and hateful? Why don't you say, wait a minute, I'm feeling some pain here. I need to check why I'm feeling this pain. But a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people want someone to do their thinking for them. They're intellectually and mentally lazy. And they allow someone to feed a certain point of view to them that is against the truth for so many years. And then when the truth shines on it, they feel offended. Instead of checking that pain and saying, hey, let me check this out. Let me see why I'm feeling this pain. But they just go on and they drift off into what's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you know the truth, but you don't want to follow it. That's basically what cognitive dissonance is. When the truth has been exposed, but you just turn your nose up at it. That's cognitive dissonance. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you all about, you know, this whole kerfuffle about Sydney Sweeney, you know, displaying the blue jeans and everything and the double standards and how petty it really is. You know, it really is petty. But wokists, that's a characteristic of the wokists and wokeism. It's being petty. It's nitpicking at every little thing. You know, you got people that say math is racist. You know, that's petty. Or that education is racist. You know, they say little petty stuff. I'm amazed that when wintertime comes and the snow falls and people don't say that snow is racist because it's white. I'm amazed. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody actually said that snow is racist because it's white. Why can't snow be black? You know, but that's how petty the wokists are. And that's what I refer to them as, the wokists. They're wokists. They're always trying to find something to make a controversy about every little thing. You know, some years ago in the Smithsonian, they they constructed this African American museum, and they had this flyer that talked about, you know, if you like to be on time, and you know you like to be if you like to be a good worker or something like that, that is a sign of being racist and all that. And I'm like, well, I like being on time to my job. I like doing a good job when I go to my job. Does that make me racist? Well, they probably call me a sellout, but anyway, you know, I've been called sellout. I've been called Oreo. I've been called Mr. Step It and Fetch It. I've been called all them cute little names, you know, and I'm like, come on, y'all, just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. It's not going, you're not going to intimidate me or anything. But once again, I got off the rails a little bit, but, yeah, people, you know, tend to your own business. Stop worrying about what the white man is doing. If you're so concerned about what the white man is doing, then why do you live here in the United States? Why? Every little thing white folks do. You know, I was watching a documentary on Netflix last night about Brett Favre, the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, and the controversy he got embroiled in with some lady, I forgot her name. And people were saying, well, you know, Brett Favre got away with it because he's a major athlete and he's white. And of course, you had a couple of people on there that you know that they're always following the woke lines and everything. You know, they're always following the woke blueprint. Stephen A. Smith, Jamil, what's her name that used to be on ESPN, Jamil Hill, I think that's her name, you know, and they were like, yeah, he got away with it because he's a major athlete and he's white. But there are a lot of major athletes that didn't get away with it and they were white too, but they just want to make it about a race thing. But anyway, folks, hope you got something out of what I said today. For some reason, I felt like my words were kind of jumbled this morning or whatever. But anyway, hope you got something out of what I'm trying to say. And like I said before, if there's anything that I've said in this video that you take offense to or whatever, just let me know. Let me know. And, you know, let me know and I'll analyze it and determine if what you say is valid or whatever. But it's high time we stop this pettiness. And we living in the age of pettiness. That's all wokeism is pettiness. It's just a fancy word for pettiness. That's all being woke is. You know, and I, for one, am tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. Because I want to be about the truth. I don't care who it offends. If it offends you, then so be it. But anyway, you all take care of yourselves. Stay healthy out there. Stay safe. This is Vincent E. Brown. I'm signing off, and until the next time, I'll see you on the rebound.